bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the last segment of the High School Fan Zone on this Wednesday night, and as always, it's the longest segment because Liberty and Lubbock Cooper get 30 minutes. Just real quick, Monday nights after Thanksgiving, we go to 2 nights a week, Monday and Wednesday. Let me make sure I get the order right. I've got my little graphic right here. Monday nights are, I've got to turn my phone off here. I don't need anybody calling me. Monday nights are Estacado, Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty. That is 20 minutes each for the first 3. Liberty gets half an hour at the end. I don't know if that's because they think I like them or if they don't. I don't like them. I'm not sure. Wednesday nights, Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper. 20 minutes for the first 3, 30 minutes for Lubbock Cooper each week. Talk to a lot of different Lubbock Cooper folks. We're getting pretty close to my favorite. I say it's my favorite time of the year, but I get real busy and my wife and daughter never see me. But when that crossover, when there's a lot of basketball, there's some baseball, there's some softball, I'm never home, which is absolutely fine with me. We've got some Lubbock Cooper baseball folks here. I'm going to let Taylor McMackin introduce himself and his guys with us if you're on radio, so you hear their voice. If you're on TV, you can see the 2 handsome young men in between us. Not that Taylor's a good-looking dude, too.
No, it's these 2 guys take the trophy there. I'm Taylor McMackin, the pitching coach at Lubbock Cooper. To the right of me, I have Connor Robertson. He was our closer last year. We'll be doing the same role as well this year. And then we have Cole Marshall, senior as well, and he really plays everywhere in the infield.
I was going to say, he's a jack of all trades.
Yep.
You're a Lubbock Cooper graduate.
I was.
All right, I'm going to age myself here a little bit. Taylor is the grandson of Greg McMackin.
Yes.
Of Texas Tech football fans. There's a lot of Texas Tech football fans right now. I think it's been okay to come back out again.
Yeah.
Greg was the defensive coordinator when Mike Leach got here. I actually covered Greg. He was one of my favorite people to deal with because he was not Mike Leach. He was much different than Mike Leach. Let's just put it that way. You could sit and have a conversation and not walk away shaking your head. So I haven't known Taylor that long, but when I saw the name and realized who it was, I thought it was pretty cool that you got a lot of coaching in your background.
Yeah, no, it's definitely grew up in the locker room, in the offices. So, I mean, I was blessed to be around the football side and then get into the baseball side. I always joke that the reason, and these guys know it, I got into baseball is because it was the football off season. So yep. I needed something to do, and so fell in love with it and have been doing it since.
Hey, that's worked pretty well at Lubbock Cooper.
Yes.
You've got some of your guys coming back were pretty good football players in the fall, as you know from being the sideline radio guy.
Yep.
You played for Brad Winchie, or did you play for?
I played for Coach Baxter.
Scary Terry. I hope he's listening. So you guys know Coach Baxter.
Yes, sir.
I knew him for 10 years back when I was not quite that long, about 6 or 7 years. I was at the AJ before. I'd never seen him smile in those 6 or 7 years. I've seen him now. He's a grandpa now. He's happier, I think, but boy, the legendary stories of him. I'll run into guys like you. Did you play at Lubbock Cooper? Who was your coach? Terry Baxter. You can tell he made an impact. A great coach, lineage of great coaches. And Chris Baker is a guy going into year 2 who's just going to fill that bill, I think. You guys played. Have you been there long enough where he was was he a sub-varsity or was he a varsity assistant for you guys?
He was a varsity assistant all 4 years of high school, or at least the first 2, and now he's filled that head coach role.
Because watching you guys last year, because folks who don't know Chris, he's very low-key, a lot like Brad that way, because Brad, sometimes I had to poke Brad to make sure he was still involved. Chris, he told me a few times last year, man, this is tough taking after Brad, because Brad had tons of success. All you guys did was go 4 rounds deep again. One district?
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember who that last game was against.
In district, or
it's usually Abilene
Amarillo. Yeah,
Amarillo.
It was
okay.
Amarillo High, and it was the 1-hit 1-0 game,
Yep.
and they had a freshman up there who was crushing it, and we fortunately came out on top. But the energy in that game, it felt like a playoff game.
It got you ready for
Yep.
the playoffs.
And so it was a good warm up.
I remember talking to Coach Baker after you lost to Grapevine, which we were talking off the road. Jimmy, if you're listening, man, you got to quit. You got to figure out a different path. You got to beat somebody else other than Lubbock Cooper, because you want to see them deeper. But I remember talking to him, and he was down in the dumps, which I understand. You guys' season's over. And I think he was, I don't know if doubting how things went, but I kind of said, you guys went just as deep as you always have, and you won district again. It's going to be okay. You said, okay, all right. You've known him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have played for him for a while. What has he brought to the table these last couple of years? Because Brad Winchie's an incredible dude, incredible coach, but how has Coach Baker changed things up a little bit?
Yeah, Coach Baker is first of all, his first role, he's a great leader. I mean, he really sets an example for all of us. Even off the field, teaches us how to be a man. Even in the classroom, he's just always been great. And even in practice, he really goes to detail with things. Like if we have questions, he'll really explain it to all of us and really try to be there for us, even if it's in a game situation or a practice situation.
There's one thing about Lubbock Cooper baseball, guys, is you have to be patient, because we were just talking about how many did you say are coming back, guys? Do you have
7?
Which is actually a low number compared to what you normally have back. You guys, when you're freshmen and sophomores, you're ready to go play varsity baseball, and you look around and you're like, oh, there's a few dudes here. I'm going to have to, because I think you've had to kind of wait your turn a little bit. You're the closer, so you're out there waiting to do your thing. That, to me, that teaches you some life lessons to have to kind of climb and keep doing things. Not just Coach Baker and Coach McMackin, but what is playing for Lubbock Cooper baseball kind of taught you about life a little bit?
Yeah, playing for Lubbock Cooper, it's taught us a lot of things. I mean, Cooper's always you've always had someone up. I mean, you've always had guys that are ready to play. And it's kind of changed this year a little bit. We have a lot of younger guys ready to step up. We've done our best as leaders to kind of teach them the ways of the program and what it means to be a Pirate. But yeah, Cooper's always been a program people want to go to. We have a target on our backs every year. Yep. We're the team to beat. So.
Did your 2 older brothers play baseball?
Sir.
So you're carrying the family torch there.
Yes, sir.
Did you have a brother? Am I right, or is he a younger brother?
Yeah, I have a younger brother. He plays soccer.
Okay,
and he's also the kicker too. So
okay, yes, I thought that was you at first when I saw the name, and I had to look a little bit closer. Follow up what he said there. That's when you get into the baseball program. You got to work hard, and it's going to take some time to get where you want to get.
Yes, sir. Especially being a closer. I mean, I've learned what it means to work while you wait, and that's one thing I keep in the back of my mind is that it's not always your turn, and so you got to make sure you're doing everything you can to step up whenever you're needed and make sure you're ready for the lights and for the big moments. And
there's a lot of those with Lubbock Cooper baseball. We're going to come back and talk about what they did last year, but we're going to focus a little bit more on what's coming up with the Pirates when we come back in the high school fan zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Lubbock Cooper athletics. You're listening to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We are talking Lubbock Cooper baseball. It's a little early, but like I said, I'm never going to hesitate to talk about baseball. Taylor, you said you guys start January 16th, which is, I assume that's a Monday.
Yes, I believe so.
That's when practice begins. I think softball, has softball started yet, or do they?
They have, yeah.
So they get a little bit of a jump on you. I've actually need to start working on typing in the schedules. I've seen some of the schedules. You guys go to the same tournaments. You go to the Metroplex a couple times to get tested. For both you guys, I know coaches want to see what you guys can do when you get out there. Do you enjoy going to those tournaments early in the season to kind of see what you're going to have to play later on when you get to the playoffs?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a blessing to go to those tournaments because you're seeing state champions, past state champions, 95, 90 plus every game, and those are the people that we want to compete with. And when we come back, it's like, all right, we can do this. Like, we've seen the competition and what we put up against those teams. So.
What about you, Connor? I'm going to assume that I'm not going to try to coach for Coach McMackin here, but I know you're a closer, but you may have to throw a little bit more when you get into those early tournaments. They want to see what everybody can do. You may get to pitch a little bit extra.
Yes, sir. I was trying to convince Coach Baker the other day to try to let me start a game, just see what I can do. Because last year I was just the main role that I used was a closer, and so. Just trying to convince him to let me start a game or two, maybe just see how it goes. And, if you can start a game, you can close a game. So,
although I've heard some stories about you that you've got a good closer's mentality.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a rock-hard mentality, face like stone. Nobody ever sees your emotions. Nobody ever knows what's going on inside your head, and you're just pumping down the mound.
You're using your left hand there. Are you left-handed too?
No, I wish.
I was going to say that left-handed closer, that's like a unicorn. That's like a Bigfoot riding in on a unicorn when you get those two mixed together. What does he bring to it? Because you don't always, in high school, now we were just talking about Graham Harden here a little bit. I think his sophomore year, that was kind of his role for Coronado. Last year he blossomed a little bit. But when you've got a kid who's got that mentality in high school, that's not all that common to have somebody who can do that.
Yeah, and I've been very fortunate to be around Connor for a long time, and he's one of the goofiest kids you'll ever meet. But
and not left-handed.
Not left-handed. Okay. Yeah. He might be left-handed, just doesn't know yet. But he's throwing from down under, and it looks great. And he's been consistent of it since you're 13, 14.
Ever since I could throw a baseball, I just grew up throwing sidearm across the field playing shortstop, and once I started pitching, it was natural to me. So.
You've got to have a catcher who can kind of adjust to that too. I speak from experience. When I was a little bit younger than these guys, we had a guy who all of a sudden he started coming at me like that. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You got to. It's not like a knuckleball, but you have to be more engaged. Like now with my old man ADD, I don't know that I can handle it, but. You guys have had some good catchers too, though, so that's not been a problem.
We have, yeah, and we have some guys coming up who've been working hard, and they've been proving themselves in the fall. We got to watch them play a lot more in the fall this year, so it was enjoyable. But we're fortunate with a good amount of catchers, just as we are with pitchers and hitters as well. It seems like a recycling pattern, and so we've been fortunate enough to have it here at Cooper.
Again, 7 guys back, but that doesn't mean that's all that. You're going to have. My guy Kent Metter, former Monterey coach, used to talk all the time. He'd show up to play you guys and play friendship, and he'd be like, where do they find all these guys? They've got all those guys in the dugout. It's just there's kids who love baseball out there. You guys are you guys Lubbock Cooper lifers?
Yes, sir.
So when did you start thinking, I want to be a Pirate baseball player? When did it kind of... Again, you had older brothers who went to school there.
So I'm actually from Midland, Odessa area.
That's right. Your dad told me
I moved in 6th grade, and we were looking for a school that not only had good academics but great sports. And we asked a lot of people, friends and family, and Lubbock Cooper was always to be the one talked about. And Lubbock Cooper has been outstanding through middle school and high school, sports, academics, and just the school overall.
His dad was a Mustang.
My dad was he played football at Coronado and then went to Tech for football. But yeah,
was he just football when he played at Coronado?
He did wrestling. He was a state champion wrestler, and then did football. I think he did a little bit of basketball too.
And I know some of the coaches he played for. I'm surprised that John Dudley didn't try to talk him into coming out and throwing a baseball a little bit. So Connor, you're a lifer though.
Yes, sir. Kindergarten and up.
So you've known Pirate baseball for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember growing up doing the little Pirate deal going on in the field with the seniors. It was so cool, and I was so blessed to be a part of the team.
What, did Terry Baxter smile at those things?
No, I never saw him smile while he was a head coach.
Right. No, he's much happier. Baxter, if you're listening, you know I love you. You're a much happier person. You've gotten a little soft since you become a grandpa. So we'll just leave it at that. We've got one more segment coming up to talk Pirate baseball in the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Your inside look into Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. I'm Randy Rosetta with 100.7 The Score and the High School Fan Zone. We're talking Lubbock Cooper baseball. I've lost my train of thought. When y'all enjoy being young, because when you get old, you start thinking about something and it just wanders off. Like I said, my old man ADD would not work trying to catch a guy like him anymore. Now that's obviously a spot where you've had great players at a lot of positions. Wyatt Self last year, Smosna,
yeah, who's at West Virginia now.
Yeah, I was going to say, who is kind of one of those, especially now in the age of NIL and transfer portal. I believe he started out at Odessa Junior College. Is that where you're headed, Cole?
Yes, sir. I'm headed to Odessa College, but I think he was at McMurray.
Okay.
Yeah, he may have gone. I'm not sure where he started out, but I know he was at McMurray and then entered the portal. And, some of those guys, that's kind of the way it's been. And, looking at the college layout, guys can use the D2 or the D3 format to continue their education. especially guys like, I mean, this kid right here and this kid, they already have college credits. So, I mean, it's fortunate enough to, if they do have the opportunity and they graduate and they can move on and they get that opportunity, it's great. But he took advantage of it.
Are you headed somewhere already, or is that to be determined?
Yes, sir. I'm committed to Murray State College in Oklahoma. So,
yep. So I think Taylor knows this. I covered college sports, covered college football, college basketball for a long time. I enjoy covering you guys anyway. I'm so happy to be covering high school sports now because it's just a mess. Now, college baseball is a little bit different. Taylor and I have talked about this. I'm a KU guy. I've enjoyed watching what they've done the last few years. It's fun to watch kids like you go to Odessa or go to a small school and get a chance to just keep climbing up. That's more baseballish to me than what's happening with football and basketball. I don't like the movement but baseball, that makes sense because that's what you do in the minor leagues. You get better and you climb up a level. And Odessa and Midland especially have really been really good programs. A lot of your guys have gone there. I think, try to think of
Tim went to, we had a lot of guys go to Midland.
Holt Gibson, even going back that far, I believe, started there. Cole, when you decided to commit to them, what did they tell you about how quickly they want you to kind of fit in? Because the other thing about junior college programs, there's usually a ton of guys there. You have to kind of earn your way. What did they tell you they want you to jump in and do?
Right, 100%. First off, Odessa, I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to play and develop. I didn't want to go to a bigger school and may not get to play for a few years. And Odessa is just so great to getting everyone reps and so many games in the fall, so many games in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I'm third and second right now that I'm thinking, but that could always change. We have a whole bunch of guys coming in, great athletes from Canada. I mean, I have a few teammates from Friendship, Ryan Mongelli and Nick Mendoza.
Yep.
And his brother went there, but their coaching staff has been great. Coach DeSoto has been nothing but outstanding and helping us on the right path. So
I'm always shocked when I see Nick Mendoza and realize that his brother is Nano. A little bit different body composition there.
Yeah.
Where is Nano now?
I don't know where he just committed.
Lamar.
He went to Lamar.
Okay, he's going to play for a good friend of mine then. I don't know that I've seen, I take that back. One of your guys a few years ago, the third baseman, stocky third baseman. But him and Nano hit a ball harder than I've ever seen a high school hit a ball. Now, I did see Bobby Witt when he came to Lubbock, but who was your third baseman a few years ago that Brad Winchy called him country strong? Orlick.
Carter Orlick, yeah.
It was, I think, one of the games against Monterey. I'm not positive it was a fair ball, but
he could crush it.
Yes,
yeah,
and
it
flew far enough and high enough that I don't know that the umpire had a chance. But yeah, the junior college baseball around here, and I'm excited that Amarillo College has launched this program. I'm very biased. I wish South Plains would figure out a way to get something going because they've got the growing campuses here. I grew up in Kansas where the JUCO baseball there is on a different level. And you don't have to, I mean, when you go to Odessa, at least you've got some civilization, and Taylor knows what I'm talking about. You get some of the little towns in Kansas, and there's not a whole lot. There might be a stoplight, or there may not be. I'm excited for you two guys, though, because I think, like I said, I think college baseball is maybe in a better spot than some of the other sports because you guys, they're going to find you guys. I'm going to guess that college scouts know their way to Lubbock Cooper's baseball facility. They've known for years. Besides these two, Ryan Rodriguez, Ryan's getting a lot of love in football, so you don't need to talk too much about Ryan. We'll get him later. Just real quick, 2 or 3 other guys that are kind of within this group that are going to be leaders for you.
Yeah, we got Jadrian Salinas. He was with us last year, and then we also have Jacob Garcia. He's also going to Murray State with him, and so he's a guy to watch out for. Had little innings last year, but he's got a good chance to make a run at being the guy.
We got a pitching coach that's got to get some work done here pretty quick.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
You lose Aqualia,
yep,
and you lost to Tim Haynes the year before. I know you weren't there yet, but got some work to do. The Pirates will get to work January 16th. That wraps us up for tonight, and for this week, we'll be back Monday in the High School Fan Zone.